Muted every. I, I've unmuted everyone. If you want to be recorded, you have a question you'd like to ask. This meeting is being recorded. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, it's Wendy, and I would ask you to talk about surrender. Um, that's what keeps coming up, just to connect to like a genuine and deeper surrender.
You know, it's something I just am constantly talking about. Because it's so important if anyone is going to grow inside themselves. It comes down to a very basic reality. If you're full of yourself, there's no room for God. You're full of your mind, your ego, your thinking, your opinions, if your whole being is full of that kind of chaotic energy, there's no room for God to come into one. So what surrender is all about is transforming all of that tension, into a chakra system that's strong enough to receive the energy of a higher nature. It's a difficult thing for people to deal with because we're so used to that voice that yaks in our head. We're so used to the ego, the imposition of will on the external world. We're so used to living that way that the very thought of living some other way, opening deeper, allowing God in, allowing the universe to come and flow through us, it's a very difficult thing to comprehend. Because most people are just conditioned people. I mean, they've been conditioned from the time they're born to function in certain ways. And when you're conditioned like that, changing is something that is difficult to do. But if you want a spiritual life, then all of that chaos, all of that internal tension and confusion, it's got to be transformed into a chakra system that can receive God's energy. That's surrender. You're letting go, to make room. I mean, it's like Kala Rinpoche said, about being nothing means you're everything. And I find that to be such a profound truth. But if we're full of ourselves, we're not nothing. We are full of us. And mostly when we're full of us, we're just full of shit, We're full of tension. I mean, I remember somebody said to Rudy, asked Rudy, why do you wear orange all the time? So he said, it's the color of surrender, fire. So somebody said to him, what are you surrendering? And he said, tension, tension. And what creates tension? Ego, mind, conflict, polarity that exists inside us when we function with those kinds of energies. So surrender is the key to all of this. And I know surrender is a very difficult term in the Western Hemisphere. It means giving up. In fact, I had a book once called The Deepest Surrender, Notes on a Spiritual Life. And I had so much trouble with that title that I had to change it to a lotus flower and muddy water, you know, because people, oh, I'm going to give up. I mean, the sheriff's going to come and arrest me, going to surrender. So it's also a matter of semantics and what people understand by certain words. But a lotus flower in muddy water is a very incredible metaphor for surrender because we all grow out of muddy water. We all are reaching for the sun. We're reaching for God coming out of muddy water. And in order to, do this, we have to surrender. We have to transform that muddiness into a chakra system that really can support the reception of God's energy. I always say, you can only fit so much water in a glass. And when we're full of us, there's no room for higher energy to come into us. And that's what creates almost all the madness that goes on in the world. Because when we're full of us, we can't heal ourselves. We're so trapped in this mire of who and what we are. The healing energy is God's energy. So in order to receive that energy, we have to begin to let go of us, to make room in us for higher energy to come in. I hope that's clear because, the word surrender in itself is a difficult word. And people are so conditioned to live the way they live that it takes, you need a jackhammer to break the concrete inside people so they can begin to let go, transform themselves. I mean, in New Age terminology, transformation is a very big word, but nobody ever explains it right, What are people transforming? They got to transform themselves. Does anyone else have a question? I hope that's clear, it comes back to one thing. If you're full of mind and ego and tension and negativity and all that crap, there's no room for God. But once the chakra system gets developed, we can transform all that negativity into energy that's neither positive or negative. It's just the energy of God, higher energy. And it gets back to what do we all want in life? I mean, we want love, we want happiness, we want joy. We don't want to be afflicted by all that tension and negativity that never gives us a moment of peace. Got to let go of it. We got to transform it. That's what the will is for. That's what the need to grow is about. That's what you use the mind and the breath to do, to develop a system that can transform all of that polarity into harmony and balance, into love. Into a person we can live with every day without driving ourselves crazy. Got to remember, you know, you're the only person that you live with 24 hours a day. So this whole thing of surrendering that part of us that's impossible to live with is very important. Part of us that knows better than everybody else, that doesn't listen to life, doesn't embrace life. That part of us is constantly battling with life. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. You know, it's a very wonderful group of people, and I feel like almost honored to come here and sit this and do this with all of you. And I feel just incredible gratitude that we can have these classes. I can't wait till we can start doing them in person. I mean, I've had in-person classes with people the last couple of weeks, and it's, you know, I mean, it's a different level. I mean, it's really amazing. This is amazing too, and this is what the universe has presented to us because of all kinds of problems that go on in the world. And this we also have to really take advantage of because it represents an opportunity for all of us to grow, not just me, but all of us, every single person that comes and takes the time and makes the effort to be part of this meditation that we do on Zoom. But I am honestly looking forward to doing more in-person classes. I mean it. But I'm not going to go traveling. People are going to have to come to me. I mean it. I almost killed myself in 2019, traveling around the world teaching meditation. So if you want, you know, I'm open to that, and let's see what happens. Okay, does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, well, God bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be meditation on Sunday. Have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful evening. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Bless you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Stuart. Good
Thank you,
night.
Stuart.
Mm.
Thank you.